Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel Skinny on Carbs. My name is Andrea, and on this channel I try to use my background in biology, histopathology, and naturopathic medicine to help you live the life that you dream of and deserve. Okay, so in my last video, or second to last video, I gave you guys one of the biggest secrets that I had in order to lose weight and keep weight off, okay? And I got questions as to how do I do this, I got those questions. So I got you. This video, we're gonna take care of that, okay? Now, I'm gonna give you guys 3 things that you're gonna need in order to accomplish that whole big secret to losing weight. So if you want to know what that big secret is, I'm gonna put a link. I will remember to put a link down below to that video, the biggest secret that I have to weight loss. Okay, so the thing that you're going to need, the number one thing that you're going to need to accomplish this secret is you're going to have to draw on your willpower. I know, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do it, okay? Before a habit sets in, you have to use willpower in order to move forward. It's just natural. Don't overthink it. You need willpower. That's what willpower is for. It's the starter fuel to get you to where you want to go. So you're going to need willpower, okay? That's the first thing you're going to need, is get your willpower in order. And you're not going to need it the entire time. Like I said, it's the starter fuel. So once you get going, you won't need it anymore. It will be second nature. All right. The second thing you're going to need is you're going to have to execute a plan for eating during the day. Why is this important? If you don't want to eat at night, okay, and just so you guys know, that's the big secret that I gave in, spoiler alert, that's the big secret, okay? It's not eating when the sun goes down. Stop eating when the sun goes down, okay? So if you want to not eat or stop eating once the sun goes down, then you have to get your eating in check during the day. You cannot undereat during the day. You cannot do that. You have got to eat to your energetic sufficiency. No undereating, no intermittent fasting, no skipping meals, no not eating when I wake up. Okay, well, not right away when you wake up, but don't skip meals, okay? Don't do that. Do not skip your meals. Why do you not want to skip meals? Because you actually are going to be, if you want to stop eating when the sun goes down, right? The whole shebang behind this, the reason you want to stop eating when the sun goes down is because you're trying to heal your metabolism, okay? And you're trying to burn fat, which happens at night. Okay, so if you're trying to heal your metabolism, undereating is not the way to go. You're just going to mess it up even more. You're going to slow down your metabolic rate even more. Second, you need to carb up, right? So this is skinny on carbs, so I got to find a way to get it in there, right? You have to carb up during the day. You have to focus on getting in your carbs. Why? Because you want your glycogen storage topped off. You need that topped off, okay, before you go to bed. You don't want your glycogen storages to be not topped off. Here's why I'm going to say this. Everybody likes to say, oh, in order to get to your fat, in order to burn fat, you need to blow through all your glycogen storages first. That's wrong. That's not correct. That's outdated. I'm not sure why people think this. No, you do not. That type of thinking assumes that you do not have metabolic flexibility. That type of thinking assumes that you could only burn one fuel ever, and that you have to train your body into burning fat. That is not accurate. You are born with metabolic flexibility, meaning you can use any of the calories, meaning any of the macronutrients can be used for fuel. Your body is smart that way, right? So what I'm saying to you is when people say you have to blow through your glycogen storages before you can burn fat, that is not true. You can go back and forth depending on your activity levels, okay, and depending on what you're doing. And we know this already, that you burn fat mostly at rest, okay? You don't have to blow through all your glycogen storages in order to burn fat. We're talking about a different process. We're talking about making ketones. Yes, you have to go through all your glycogen storages in order to produce ketones. But when you're doing that, when you're in ketosis, now you're in an emergency state. That's a different whole nother topic, okay? We're not trying to take our body into an emergency state. We just want to ease our body into burning fats, which it can do naturally. So if you don't top off your glycogen storages at night, before you get to nighttime, what happens is you're going to eat through it. Okay, you're not going to eat through all of it. Just take it easy. You're not going to burn all your glycogen storages overnight. It takes about 24 hours, maybe 48 hours to do that. 72 hours, around there. It takes about 72 hours for your brain to start taking ketones for fuel, but it takes a long time to burn through your glycogen storages. Not 8 hours at sleep, at rest. No, you're not going to burn through all your glycogen storages. However, you're going to use them, okay, more than you should if you don't keep it topped off. And what's going to happen is you're going to lose your glycogen storage. You're going to wake up, you're going to weigh yourself, and you're going to think, oh my God, I've lost 10 pounds. No, you didn't. You just ate through your glycogen storages, okay? And that glycogen, that carb, it carries water. So now you've lost water weight. You know how people lose all this weight in the first week of weight loss? It's just their glycogen storages that they're eating up because they're under eating. Usually they're under eating carbs. And so they lose their glycogen storages over the course of the week, which takes out water, right? And now you have gurus telling you that you need to salt up in order to get that water back. No, you didn't lose the water because you didn't have enough sodium. You lost the water because you are eating through your glycogen storages, because most people, when they diet, they lower their carbohydrate intakes, okay? And so your body's going to go for that glycogen storage. So now you've used it up. It's gone. Glycogen has weight, okay? And also the water that the carbohydrates are that's holding on, that the carbohydrates it's holding on to, you've lost that as well. So that's what you lost. And the minute you eat, it's going to come back, because that is physiologically natural. You're supposed to be topped up with your glycogen storages. You don't want to have your glycogen storages depleted, okay? So what I'm saying is you're faking yourself out with weight loss if you don't carb up. So that was a long-winded way of me trying to tell you guys, keep your glycogen storages up. You don't need to eat through them in order to get to fat loss. Not necessary, okay? So keep your glycogen storages up. Carb up during the day. Let your body know we are not in starvation mode. We have glycogen storages on deck. We don't need to burn through glycogen, and we don't need to burn through muscles, okay? Because you don't want to do that. So carb up during the day. Long-winded way of saying get your calories met, get your energetic needs met throughout the day. Do not meet that, okay? And I'm not saying that you need to count calories, but what I am saying is if you haven't met your energetic needs, you're going to know it by nighttime. You're going to know, okay? So make sure you eat, make sure you carb up, make sure you fruit up, make sure you get your carbohydrates, your simple sugars in during the day. All right. You got all day to do this. Don't skip meals. The third thing you need to know, all right, in order to accomplish this whole not eating at night. So the third thing you need to know is that hunger hormone that everybody's talking about. Everybody talks about the leptin ghrelin ratios, and one suppresses hunger and one instigates hunger. Okay. Just so you guys know, those hormones are behavioral, okay? They're not some hard and fast thing that happens. They're behavioral hormones, just like your cortisol is sort of behavioral, okay? If you, let's say in the morning, if you skip a meal, right, and you continue to skip meals, that behavior will instigate a cortisol spike, right? So that leptin ghrelin scenario, that hunger hormone scenario, it's based on your behavioral pattern from the day before. So if you haven't noticed, you tend to eat on a schedule, right? Or you tend to get hungry on a schedule. That's because you've been eating on a schedule. So if every evening you eat at, say, 9 p.m., then the next evening, okay, the following evening, you're going to get hungry at 9 p.m. Not because you're actually hungry, but because you have set that pattern. Your body is telling you, hey, we are expecting calories in at 9 p.m. because that's when you give us calories. You're not actually hungry. You don't need those calories. Okay? Now, how do you know if that's real hunger or behavioral hunger? Did you meet your energetic needs throughout the day? Did you eat? Okay? Not only that, but do you have weight on the body that needs to come off? Then you're good. You're fine. You don't have to eat at night, and you don't have to worry about topping up your glycogen storages at night, because you met it during the day, because you met your energetic needs throughout the day, meaning you ate multiple times throughout the day, not 10 or 12 times. I'm not telling you to eat that much, but you ate multiple times throughout the day. You broke up your meals, you broke up your carbohydrates, you got all your simple sugars in, and you were not tired during the day. You didn't feel like you were just absolutely exhausted. You met your energetic needs throughout the day. So now you know your glycogen storages have been topped off. Okay, so that feeling of hunger that you're going to get at night, that's normal. You're going to get that. That's normal. It's going to take a while for your hormones to catch up and realize, oh, we don't do this anymore, and it will subside. It will stop. Okay, now this is a bonus. If by chance you did not get to top up your glycogen storages throughout the day, meaning you didn't meet your energetic needs throughout the day, we're not gonna make that some ultimate sin. It happens. Sometimes you get busy. It happens to me. I get busy. You get busy, you forget to eat, whatever. We're not going to make this a habit, but we know that this can happen because this is the real world. Okay, so what are you going to do in that instance? If you get hungry, really hungry, you actually did not meet your energetic needs throughout the day, what are you going to do? You're not going to eat a cooked meal. That you're not going to do. If you want a cooked meal, you eat that during the day when the sun is up and your digestive power is stronger. You will not eat that cooked meal at night. Meaning, I know there's a lot of programs and a lot of protocols that say eat all day your simple foods, and then at night you eat your cooked meals or whatever. I don't subscribe to that. I don't teach that. That is not the best time to eat your cooked meals. It's the worst time, in my opinion, to eat your cooked meal. All right? So you're not going to eat your cooked meal at night because you do not want to be carrying on with digestion at night. And when you cook your foods, it takes longer to digest it. It moves through the digestive system slower. Now your enteric nervous system has to operate on that food, right? What's the enteric nervous system? I'm talking about the nervous system that your intestines has, okay? This is your digestive nervous system. Your digestive tract has its own nervous system. It's called the second brain for a reason. So now you're busying your digestive tract with digesting foods, and now your body cannot go in and metabolically switch to burning fat the way it should when it's at rest, and go into those nice cleaning stages, those nice autophagy stages that you really don't need 3 days of fasting to get into. You can go into autophagy at nighttime. Yes, it's possible, but you can only do that properly if you are not digesting your foods at night. This is why I said the biggest secret to losing fat is to stop eating when the sun goes down. Okay, you want to switch into a different side of your nervous system. So if you actually didn't meet your energetic needs and you are hungry at night, real hunger, not behavioral hunger, then you are going to eat some fruit, light fruit. Okay, now I know you're gonna say this, oh, but what juicy fruit is gonna make me have to get up to urinate? Oh well, too bad. You should have done the right thing. Okay, you're just gonna have to tough it out. You can't have it all. I'm telling you, you gotta meet your energetic needs throughout the day. This is what happens when you don't meet your energetic needs throughout the day. Now you gotta work on the backup system. And the backup system isn't always perfect. It's not the perfect one. It's the imperfect one. So you gotta deal with it, right? So I am saying to you, don't dehydrate yourself with cooked food at night. Don't put your digestive system through heavy digestion at night. We don't want to do that. Okay, and I'm not gonna have you eating vegetables because vegetables are a little bit more harder to digest than fruits are. Okay, so that's why I'm saying to you, sorry, you need to eat a piece of fruit. Okay, eat a piece of fruit, not a lot, just enough to satisfy your hunger, and at least it's a nice hit of simple sugars for your adrenals. It's not a bad thing. But that's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna have a big old salad. You're not gonna have a big old bowl of cooked vegetables. We're not gonna have beans and rice, and that's not what we're eating at night. At night we need to eat the quickest digesting food that there is, and of all the food groups, it's going to be the fruits. Yes, you're gonna have to pee. Oh well, get over it. That's all I can tell you. Okay? All right, and it's not going to be a lot. You're not going to have a large volume, and that too. Please don't eat. If let's say you have to eat your fruits at night because you didn't eat carb up during the day, and so you have to eat some fruit at night, don't eat a large meal. Okay? Don't stretch out your stomach, because even though it's fruits, if you overstretch the stomach, you're going to slow down your digestion, and we don't want to slow down digestion at night before we're trying to go to sleep. That's not what we're trying to do. Okay? All right. So those are my 3 tips, with the bonus of what you should eat if you need to eat at night before you go to bed. All right? So that's it from me. I hope you guys found something interesting and useful in this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share my video with someone that you think needs it. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right? Bye.